The novel Blindness begins with a man suddenly losing his sight while waiting at a traffic light. This unexplained phenomenon marks the start of a mysterious epidemic. The scene is set in contemporary Portugal, with modern cars and urban streets. The man's panic and helplessness introduce the central theme of the story: the fragility of human senses and society. This moment of sudden blindness sets the stage for the chaos that follows. The blind man seeks help from an ophthalmologist who is baffled by the lack of medical explanation for the blindness. The sterile medical office, equipped with modern instruments, emphasizes the doctor's professional expertise. Despite his efforts, the doctor cannot diagnose or treat the condition. This scene introduces the doctor as a central character and highlights the limitations of modern medicine in the face of an unknown epidemic. The blindness begins to spread rapidly, affecting the doctor and others in his office. A crowded waiting room becomes a scene of panic as people lose their sight unexpectedly. This escalation underscores the epidemic's uncontrollable nature and the growing fear among the population. The scene highlights the breakdown of order and the collective helplessness in the face of an unstoppable force. The government responds by forcibly quarantining the blind in an abandoned mental asylum. Armed soldiers in contemporary uniforms oversee the operation, reflecting the state's authoritarian approach. The grim, dilapidated building symbolizes the isolation and dehumanization of the infected. This scene marks the beginning of a new, harrowing chapter for the blind, as they are cut off from society and left to fend for themselves. Inside the quarantine, conditions quickly deteriorate. Overcrowded rooms, unsanitary environments, and a lack of basic necessities create a chaotic and dehumanizing atmosphere. The blind struggle to adapt, groping in the dark and relying on each other for survival. This scene illustrates the immediate consequences of the quarantine and the breakdown of social order in extreme circumstances. The doctor's wife pretends to be blind to stay with her husband, secretly retaining her sight. Her determination and resourcefulness make her a key figure in the group. This act of love and sacrifice introduces a glimmer of hope and moral clarity amid the chaos. Her ability to see provides a unique perspective on the unfolding tragedy, highlighting the contrast between physical and moral blindness. As food becomes scarce and order collapses, the quarantine ward descends into violence and despair. Inmates form factions, exploiting others for survival. The doctor's wife witnesses the moral decay, including acts of cruelty and desperation. This scene underscores the fragility of human morality under extreme conditions and the lengths people will go to survive. A fire breaks out in the quarantine ward, forcing the blind to escape. Flames engulf the building, creating a scene of chaos and panic. The fire becomes a turning point, allowing the group to leave the oppressive confines of the asylum. However, the outside world holds its own challenges as the epidemic has spread far beyond the quarantine. The blind discover that the epidemic has spread throughout the city. Empty streets, abandoned cars, and wandering blind people paint a picture of societal collapse. The scale of the crisis is revealed as the group realizes that there is no safe haven. This scene deepens the sense of despair and highlights the widespread impact of the blindness epidemic. Despite the overwhelming challenges, the group begins to adapt. They form a makeshift camp, helping each other and finding small moments of humanity. A faint sunrise symbolizes a glimmer of hope for renewal and resilience. This scene shifts the narrative from despair to the possibility of rebuilding, emphasizing the enduring strength of the human spirit.